Okay, so this is Infusionsoft, right? Did you did you log in at all?
I did.
Okay, yeah.
I
So
I've got
you know that your dashboard looks different than mine. You know, I look at, my job is to kind of like look at everything that's going on in the business all at the same time.
Okay.
So yours, has your Bridget ISA new lead stage, and you've got assigned to Bridget. Those are assigned to Bridget is where you keep all your people who you're currently working with, super important, like clients that you're showing houses to, or that you've already been on a listing appointment with, and you're following up with them like every day.
Working with.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Bridget ISA new lead is basically where your brand new leads are coming in. So I'll kind of break down the life cycle of like a full sale really quick. I like to do that at the beginning of this. So, we're generating all these leads on Google and Facebook from our buyer and seller websites. Those leads get funneled into Infusionsoft.
Okay.
They first go to this stage right here, which is new lead Patrick distribute. So like I'll come in here in the morning and there'll be some number in there. And then I take a look at each lead and I'll distribute it to whoever generated the lead. And so if you had generated the lead, it would go from new lead Patrick distribute over to Bridget ISA new lead.
Got it.
So when you log into your Infusionsoft in the morning, you've got a little, number 1 or number 2 based on how many leads you generated. And the first thing you do is, call that lead, and I'll get into kind of our process. We have a process for all these kind of things.
Okay.
So you generate the lead, you call it, and we try to call a new lead 2 or maybe even 3 times if you're getting really aggressive with it on the first day.
Okay.
And if you don't get a hold of them on that first day, at the end of the last time you call them, whether you're calling them the 3rd time or the 2nd time, Paul doesn't really like the whole calling somebody 3 times one day. I think that's a little bit annoying.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to leave it up to you completely.
Okay.
Our coaching group people, some people go 3, some people go 2, some people go 1, whatever. But yeah, if you don't get a hold of them the first day, you leave a voicemail at the end of the day. And basically you're saying something, let's just say if it's a seller lead, hi, this is Bridget with Cantu Group Real Estate. I noticed that you visited my website, mysalepropertyvalue.com. Just wanted to follow up and make sure you got your instant home evaluation that you ordered. Give me a call back. Here's my phone number. Here's my email address. Cool. Then we're going to follow them up. I had a really late night lights.
That's okay.
We have systems in place for people that we haven't gotten a hold of yet, and we have systems in place for people that we do get a hold of. So you would treat a lead differently. That you pick up the phone first day.
Right.
And they answer the phone, and you say, hey, this is Bridget with Cantu Group Real Estate and mysalepropertyvalue.com. Just following up with you to make sure you got all the information on our website. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, okay, I did. Okay, great. Are you considering maybe selling your home in the next 1 to 3 or 3 to 6 months? Oh, we're kind of thinking about moving in a year. Okay, great. Well, please continue to use the website as much as you like. If you ever have any questions about real estate, please use me as a resource. Also, if you ever want an updated market analysis in the meantime, reach out to me and I'll provide you with one that's actually prepared personally. The evaluation you got online is generated by essentially a robot.
Right.
And then you tag them in Infusionsoft to follow up with them, every month or every 2 weeks, however you see fit. Mm-hmm. And then when the time comes, you stay in front of them. You're sending them things in the mail. You're just demonstrating your value really. Right. And you make that phone call a year later. Hey, just checking in again. It's Bridget, Cantu Group Real Estate. You said maybe a year out. It's September 2018. Would you like to meet and go over a really comprehensive assessment of value? You have 15 or 20 minutes this week or this weekend. And then they go from being a prospect to being a client, and then they're in your assigned to Bridget stage. So that's like all the stuff that you have to do to get them into that assigned to Bridget stage.
Got it.
Okay, so let me just kind of show you how that actually works. So I created a little lead this morning for our purposes. Name fake person. Okay. So again, in searching for people in Infusionsoft, super easy. There's a search bar. You type in their name. Okay. No brainer. Again, it's going to run a little slow because it's running video. And then it'll take you to this little kind of preliminary thing. Just keep clicking on the name, and it will take you to, like, they have a profile kind of page where you have all their information, which is this page here. So typically on a page like this, you know, I just created this person so they don't have a lead source or a website that they came in from, but they will when it's a real person. So this will say Commissions Inc., probably, because that's our biggest lead generator. And then the website will be searchforhomesinseattle.com. But you have you have a phone number, you have their email address. And as a brand new lead, that's really all the information you are going to have generally. Sometimes there's more. But I'm going to create an opportunity so that I can show you kind of what I briefly just explained. So go add opportunity. Go Bridget. And no, we're going to start from the very beginning. Everything kind of starts off in my little world first. So okay. So I just put it in the new lead Patrick distribute pipeline stage. So if I go back here to my dashboard, and also you can always get back to your dashboard by just clicking on this little house icon up here. So I come to work. Awesome, we generated a lead. Here it is. I click on this little number 1. And again, it's going to take me to kind of a preliminary page, and I'm going to have to keep clicking through to get to where I actually want to be. And I believe it's actually going to make me jump through one more hoop. Yeah, so this is the opportunity page where I can actually go in here and use these to, I like to think about it kind of like passing a basketball in a game of basketball. Like, you know, I have the ball right now, but if you generate the lead, I want to give you the ball. So what I would do is then, you know, it's currently assigned to me. So I would go, you know, Bridget, and I want you to see it right away. So I would put it in the Bridget. God, there's so many things here now. Bridget ISA new lead stage, and then hit save. Another thing with Infusionsoft is hitting save is huge.
Okay.
It doesn't auto save anything, so I save more than I even have to because I'm just paranoid about losing information.
You're an oversaver.
I'm a textbook oversaver.
That's all right.
Okay, so now, because I changed that opportunity, and again, usually I'll just click right through to this page. I like this page the most because it has all the information on it.
Right.
And then what I would do is go click on opportunities. And this is how you can move your opportunities around. Click on opportunities and click edit. And that's what I would actually normally do. I would go in here and then move it to Bridget.
Okay.
Move it to Bridget ISA new lead. And now if I go back to my dashboard, you know, we'll see that you've got a little number 1.
Cool.
So let's see, OSA new leads. There it is. And so another little trick here, if you want to, like, let's just say you're in Infusionsoft, you're working super hard, and you're kind of going all over the place. If you hover your mouse over this little clock icon, it just pulls up the last 10 people that you visited. I use this constantly. Yeah, so I'm going to go back to my fake lead. Okay, so it's in your ISA new lead queue. After I do that, and certainly before you see it, because I'm just kind of doing this like first thing in the morning.
Right.
I'm going to tag this lead for follow-up. So let's just say, for instance, that it's a buyer lead. I'm going to tag it as a buyer lead, and it's going to launch an initial task for you to call this person. It's also going to launch a conversational email campaign and an educational email campaign.
Sweet.
Both of these email campaigns are going to come from your KMT Group Gmail.
Cool.
And the conversational emails are there to sort of just, again, stay in front of them. Also to kind of elicit some sort of response, because really we want them to raise their hand and start a conversation with us.
Right.
So the conversationals are real short and sweet, because we find that it's easier to get a response with a 2-sentence long email than it is from like writing somebody a paragraph.
Right.
So it's just like, hey, fake person, you know, I saw you're on my website. Thank you so much for visiting. You know, did you find, you know, any cool houses you'd like to go tour? And it's just real casual. It even says like sent from my iPhone at the bottom, because we figured that's even more casual.
Yeah.
So what I'll do here is I'll go to, there's 2 drop-down menus that we use. There's a bunch of these here. The only ones we ever use are the no category drop-down menu and the Griffin Realty Group drop-down menu. Just pretend all the other ones don't even exist.
What is Griffin Realty Group?
Griffin Realty Group is basically our coaching group. Our coaching group is called the Realty Classroom, but the guy who runs it, his real estate business is called the Griffin Realty Group.
Okay.
And he basically can just push campaigns he builds in Infusionsoft straight into our system.
Okay. This is a super user-friendly software. I mean, it
is. It really is. I'm really glad to hear you say that because I do these with other people, and it's just like, what? This is the craziest, most complicated thing I've ever seen. So that's awesome.
No,
and you're right.
I'm kind of a computer nerd.
Good.
I kind of like
awesome
messing around with computers. And
I love
think it's pretty straightforward. I still appreciate this, and we'll need this, of course. But
sure. But
it seems
so
like it's pretty easy to navigate.
Nice to hear. Believe me.
Okay.
I do have half of these things that I look over the person and they're not even home.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go new buyer lead tasks.
Okay.
It's a new buyer lead. We have to get started. So to apply any tag, just select which one you want from the drop-down menu, click apply this tag, and again, save. Yeah. Okay, so that is going to, it takes a second to launch. Oh, that one went really fast.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to click save a couple times for it to actually pop up. And so here's your initial call task. New NBC stands for new buyer call. And there's some notes in here that I probably should update because we used to have just inside salespeople making calls, but now we have our OSAs and our agents actually like generating their own leads themselves. So kind of disregard these notes. It says tag for appropriate follow-up, which you do have to do.
Right.
Set appointment for OSA, Bless you.
Thank you.
Avoid booking appointments with buyers. I think it says who are looking under 150K and booking appointments with rehabbers and flippers.
Where do they want to buy in?
Yeah. I mean, but to be fair, we totally there's a deal on the board right now with a guy who is actually flipping a condo.
Oh, this is Danielle's, right?
Yeah, flipping a condo for 149 or something. So breaking both of the rules in here.
Right.
So keep it. We do business with pretty much everybody, but
realistically speaking, there's not going to be a lot of action at that.
And you're going to have a harder time.
Right.
I mean, the sad part is usually the really low price point clients are also the most work. So,
which seems so ass backwards.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Backwards, yeah. Okay, so once I've done this, the ball's in your court.
Okay.
I'll probably text you like, hey, by the way, you generated a lead.
Cool.
Check it out. If you want to see what's happening with this lead kind of on the back end, click on campaigns and you can really see, here are the active sequences that are running: conversational emails, educational emails, initial call. SS stands for set search. Every lead that comes in here, that's a buyer. A tag or a task goes actually out to our friend in the Philippines who does a lot of kind of administrative busy work that's really kind of low price point stuff, and so he'll basically set them up on a search based on what they were looking at on our website.
Okay.
So that's what that is.
And so based upon what he sets that up, will that affect the auto-generated emails and stuff that we send out? Is that?
No, it won't.
Okay.
The auto-generated emails I tried to make them as vague as possible because even when they're moved over to the prospect stage, they stay the same. Mm-hmm. But you have complete reign, I guess, to go in here and cancel out emails or delete all the emails if you're talking with somebody and you've got something really with them and you don't want any random email going out that you didn't have any.
We've already discussed
this. Exactly. So you want to be careful with that, and this is where you can manipulate that under campaigns. Here's your active sequences. Recent campaign history is what's already happened.
Okay.
So we tagged it. the initial call task is up. Upcoming campaign items. So tomorrow, our guy Kim in the Philippines gets his task to set the search, and the very first conversational email goes out, and you can preview it. Hope you're having a fantastic day.
I think.
Yeah, right. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And basically, we're just pitching our awesome mortgage lender, Augustus Bukowski.
Okay.
And we also want to make sure that the buyers that you're talking with have it in their head that they should need to get pre-approved for a loan.
Augustus Bukowski. Let's talk about what a rad name that is.
That's a rad name, yeah. Yeah, we actually played a gig last night together at the High Dive.
Oh, did you?
He plays bass guitar.
Oh, nice.
And he's just a killer guy.
Augustus Bukowski.
Augustus
That's like a dude who's
Bukowski.
going to make some things happen.
He does actually make things
Does he?
happen.
Is he the only lender that you guys work with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in the top 2% of loan originators in North America. He's crazy
That's
good.
no joke.
Yeah, he's no joke. He's also super easy to work with and just down to earth.
Cool.
And he's incredibly bright and will take really good care of all your buyers.
Good.
Okay, and so let's see, where was I? So yeah, that's a conversational email,
Okay.
and then here's an example of an educational email. Quick breakdown of the home buying process, and it just, hope you're having a fantastic day. I've outlined major steps in the home buying process. If you have any questions, let me know. And it just breaks down the entire home buying process.
Cool.
So the idea is to make sure that the people that you're working with are just better buyers. You want people who are informed. You don't want to have to hold their hand as much.
Right.
You're still going to have to.
Right.
But, the more they know, the better we're off. Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to what you're actually doing on day one. So there's your first task. You're going to call them first thing, and let's just assume that they don't answer the phone. Again, you try them again later in the evening. Say they don't answer the phone again. What you're going to do is leave them a message, and then you come in here, and there's a few steps for brand new leads. Leads that you're following up with don't require as much as I'm about to go over. The new stuff, you got to do a couple extra things.
Okay.
So you click on the task, and there's a section that says completion date. This is how you complete a task. So you click on this little calendar here,
Yep.
select the date that you completed the task, and then you hit save. And then that task will go out of this bank and into this one. So up here is where all your incomplete tasks live,
Okay.
and here's where all your completed tasks will be when you're done. Okay, so that's the first step. Next step is the notes section. We're super serious about the notes section here because what we want to do with every lead is basically have the ability to look at any lead and have just like the story of that lead, right?
Mhm.
So, especially when I'm just giving you a lead, like let's just say one of our inside salespeople books an appointment and I give that person over to you, you want to be able to look at the notes section and know exactly like what kind of conversations were had, how hard was it to get on the phone, everything.
This is kind of what you touched on in the meeting last Friday too, right? Is like making sure that you put things in there so that you can be relevant
Reference
to them.
it later.
And that kind of
Absolutely.
thing. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
So to add a note, all you got to do is click add note. And then we have some templates you can use. LVM and NOM is left voicemail, no name on message. Left voicemail number is good. There's one for pretty much everything, so let's just say you wanted to do that. It's also a good idea to timestamp these because let's just say you called them at 10:19 a.m. and they didn't answer the phone. You probably don't want to try calling them at 10:19 every day,
Right.
because
Just
maybe they'll
obviously
never
not
answer the
good,
phone.
Right.
So that's another thing that can help you. And then you hit save
Okay.
when you're done making your note. And it will now live in the notes section. Okay? All right, so we now have to, if we were to leave this lead alone, it would just get lost because there's no follow-up calls yet for it.
Okay.
So the next thing we do is go up to the all-important tags section. So up here you'll find there's a bajillion tabs.
Mhm.
We stay on the general tab 99% of the time. And then other than that, we literally only use one other tab, which is the tag tab. So you can, again, just forget about all this other stuff
Okay.
and go to tag. So For buyers and sellers, or for new leads, I should say, there's only two. Bless you. There's only two tags we use.
Okay.
There's one for buyers and there's one for sellers.
Okay.
Pretty easy. So all the follow-up call tags live in the Griffin Realty Group drop-down menu.
So we'd only use the no category when it's
no categories
initial?
for stuff like the initial tags, which only I'm using anyways.
Okay.
But there's also stuff in there for example, if you're talking with a seller and they say that they're a year from selling, there's tags in there that will give you tasks to like mail them things.
Okay.
You know, there's some follow-up mailing tags in there that you can use, and there's a couple of other weird ones and that you know are for like super specific circumstances.
Okay.
And we can get a little bit deeper into that, but
Most of the follow-ups then are on Griffin.
all the calling stuff is in Griffin,
Okay.
plus the delete contact tag, which we'll talk about as well.
Okay.
Okay, so this
Sorry,
person's a buyer.
I always want to know like the whys. And
No,
stuff,
no,
so
totally.
Cut me
No.
off if you want me
No,
to.
and I also tend to just like just spew.
Right, you've done it a few times. Huh?
I've done it so many times, and like just stop me because
Okay.
I'll just bulldoze my way
Okay,
through this whole
okay.
thing. So, and people have actually given me feedback like, well, like you went super fast and just
Oh.
never stopped. So
I'm pretty quick.
yeah, you're quick. So we have a buyer, and we didn't get a hold of him the first day.
Okay.
So we're going to tag him lead, call, follow up, plan B for buyer.
Okay.
It's not like it's plan
Plan B.
as opposed to plan A.
Right.
I've never thought of that until right now.
That's funny.
That's weird. Okay, so again, apply this tag, and it will go up. Now we can see all the tags that have been applied up here in the current tags thing, you know.
Okay.
And hit save. And what this is going to do is it's going to launch a series of follow-up call tasks for you that get less and less frequent over time.
Okay.
The idea is we don't want to waste our time on somebody who's never going to answer the phone.
Right.
So I'll show you what this tag is actually going to do. So if you go down to campaigns, you can preview what's coming up. So there'll be a follow-up call task tomorrow. There'll be a follow-up call task the day after that, and the day. Well, it only happens on weekdays. That's why it's
Okay.
a couple days.
Okay.
So basically, it does 3 daily calls in a row,
Okay.
and then that goes out to 4 weekly calls. So it gets less and less frequent
Okay.
too. 4 weekly calls, and then after that 4th weekly call, we let a month go by. And then there is a final monthly call.
Okay.
And then after that happens, it gets tagged for long-term nurture, which basically is I wind up getting a tag that says, hey, should we cut bait with this person entirely and just let them receive automated emails forever, which they will?
Right.
Or is this person worth maybe trying to either call again or send a personal email to?
Right.
You know, if I see tons of activity on our website, like they're constantly looking at houses, and maybe all the notes say left voicemail, phone number is good, we might try a little harder.
Okay.
That's what the deal is with that. So, you know, you'll call you'll just get these tasks, and hopefully you'll, let's just say you get to the 3rd weekly call, they answer the phone, and you have a conversation, and they go, oh yeah, we're gonna be looking to buy a home next year. And you say, great, again, please continue to use the website. If you have any questions about homes that you see online, or if you decide you'd like to go tour a few houses, please let me know. I'm happy to help you. What you would do, actually, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So we're not even done messing with this brand new lead that you've called on day 1. So you tagged it for follow-up so that we know the lead won't be lost. And there's the next thing you do is you scroll down here to opportunities, because it's still in your ISA new lead stage. At the end of your day, there should never be anybody in your ISA new lead stage. New leads are new for day 1, and then they're old after that.
Okay.
So what you do is you go to opportunities, you click edit over here on the left hand side, And then what you do is you grab this drop-down menu here, and if you scroll all the way to the bottom, it's the incubator stage, and then you hit save.
Okay.
It's because we're incubating this lead, you know, like a bird on an egg, you know, until it's ready to hatch.
Right.
So
Your
once
analogies are on point this morning.
yes, thank you. So now you're done. Now you can just move on to whatever tasks that you have remaining. Okay, so what I was getting to a second ago was, you know, when you do get them on the phone and you establish timing, you would go up to tags, and in the Griffin Realty Group drop-down menu, we have all these prospect tags. So prospects, again, are people that we're communicating with. And so I don't know if have I sent you the Infusionsoft tagging guide yet?
I don't think
Okay,
so.
I'll send it to you today.
Okay.
Basically, so Danny Griffin created all these tags, and a lot of them like don't make a ton of sense on the face of it. Like prospect follow up 12 months -12B. What the hell is he talking about? So I created a guide that will actually break down like this is what actually happens
Kind of, or okay.
and when to use it.
Okay.
So 12 months 12B is a monthly call reminder for you.
It
Right.
sounds like a yearly call when it's written like that.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, that's why I had to create this guide.
Okay, cool.
So you'd hit apply tag, and then you hit save. And what that's going to do is it's going to erase all those lead call follow-up calls and replace them with these prospect follow-up calls, so that you know when you go into Infusionsoft, hey, you know, don't just pick up the phone. And as you'll see, like here they are here. So prospect follow calls.
Okay.
You'll see the task, and you know, okay, this is somebody that I've spoken with before. Don't just pick up the phone and be like, hey, this is Bridget. Like, just want to make sure you saw all the information you wanted on my website. You'd be like, oh, hey, this is Bridget. We spoke last month.
Right.
Just following up with you.
I
So
can see why the notes and all that is
super important, right?
crucial.
Yeah. Okay, so that's how you do that. That's how you tag somebody for follow-up. So now I'm going to just really quickly go over the process that we go through. Unless you have any questions right away?
No, it seems pretty straightforward.
Right
And I don't know how much I can actually mess around with this without having. I mean, is it?
No, you can. So
I can,
here's what you
okay.
should do. This is a great idea for anybody who's starting off in Infusionsoft. You could either create a fake person, and I'll show you how to do that,
Okay.
and just mess with it as much as you want.
And that's I think the best way that I'll learn. I mean, this all makes sense, but really hands-on.
You got to do it hands-on. No, it's true. Another thing you can do, and it's a huge kind of starting point for your real estate career, is to make a list of people that you think may either know somebody who might sell or buy a house, or that you think they themselves might be ready to make a transition.
I started kind of a master Excel spreadsheet.
So put those people in Infusionsoft.
Okay.
And tag them for, follow-up calls. I mean, maybe you don't want to send them emails because you know them personally.
Right.
It'd be weird if they got like a canned email from Infusionsoft.
Right.
But you can skip that first step that I do, where I do like the no category drop-down menu. Right. You know what I'm saying? And just tag them with the Griffin Realty Group follow-up call thing. And all that's going to happen is you're going to get a follow-up call task in Infusionsoft. Another thing I want to point out is like a follow-up call task doesn't even necessarily have to be a call. It's a touch.
Okay.
It could be a text. It could be a personal handwritten letter or a Facebook message, whatever. Okay. And so I would put those people in here, tag them, and then that way it just sort of, I don't want to say holds you accountable, but it's like it helps you to sort of like stay on task. Like I want to be in front of these people and continue, because it's amazing how quickly your friends, family, coworkers will forget that you're actually a real estate agent.
Right.
So it's good to just.
I was planning on to, when I get business cards and stuff, to try to get as many like mailing addresses as I can for these people and send out a letter. That's like, hey,
good idea.
This is what I'm doing. I already have my friends that just got married. I officiated their wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're saving.
You're a Universal Life Minister?
You betcha.
So am I.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. It was so fun. What an honor. Have you done more than one?
I've done a bunch.
You have?
Yeah.
Always for people you know?
Yeah.
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 Isn't it fun?
It's super fun, but it's terrifying at the same time.
It is. I'm not as outgoing as I am. I'm not when I'm actually supposed to be just me. And plus these two people I introduced them. They're two of my dearest friends, and so it was emotional for me. You know?
Yeah, sure, yeah. I love it though. I mean, I've got one, like, this is kind of bizarre, but Augustus Bukowski and I's drummer asked me to officiate his wedding in 2019. He's like going to do a super long engagement.
Yeah.
Like, who does that?
Yeah,
but,
right.
I think I did my sister's wedding. I've done a couple of like real close friends' weddings. One was in Cabo, so I've even done an international one, which actually doesn't even count. Like, they weren't technically married in the United States, but we did a second United States one.
Okay.
I love it because it's like my opportunity to like tell jokes in front of a big audience.
When Aaron sent me, that was the groom. He sent me the script and stuff and what he wanted, and then he just put a little thing in there and just said Bridget riffs for a bit.
Yeah.
And so I got to put my own thing on. I know them both so well, so it's super fun to to crack jokes and bring personal stuff that you know about it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but anyway, they would be
put them in here.
People that I'd put in here. So if I put these, if an agent puts them into their own Infusionsoft, that means that it's their lead.
100%.
And it's clear that it's their lead. Whereas if it comes from Patrick,
that's
how do we tell that difference?
That's a great question. So what you want to do, like when you put one of these people from your sphere of influence in here, I would highly recommend going down here right away, add a note that says, "This is my personal phone."
Okay.
I generated this lead because I know them from whatever, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, and then one other thing you want to do too is under lead source, I would go like this and type in SOI, sphere of influence. Mm-hmm. That way later, if you want to look up all your sphere of influence people at the same time, so that maybe you can just be like, you know what, I'm going to spend half an hour today calling people in my sphere of influence. You can look up that whole list all at once rather than digging through all the non-SOI people.
Excuse me. Okay, my goal is to have like 200 people on that list.
That's fantastic.
Is that too like gung ho?
No, that's fantastic. That's
like just between friends and family.
Yeah.
I can't not talk to people, and so
but you'll make a great real estate
I'm one of those
agent
people that makes friends. I can cut the store line.
Yeah,
you know?
Oh yeah.
So
200 is a great goal for sure, and absolutely put 1,000 people in Infusionsoft.
Right.
I don't care.
Well, yeah.
Go nuts.
Okay.
So let's see. So when I want to really quick go over what it's going to be like when we book an appointment that we want to just give to you. Okay. So what will happen there is, first thing that will happen is the ISA makes a call. Hey, this is Paul with Cantu Group Real Estate, following up, and you said maybe you're going to be making a move soon. You're ready to go tour some houses. Looking at homes online is a great place to start, but we'll get a way better idea of what's really going to ultimately work for you if you go look at a few houses on the inside. Sometimes they doctor the photos and stuff like that. It's really good to go check out some houses. Okay, fine. We'll meet you on Saturday at 3 o'clock. So what Paul will do is he will click Add Appointment, and he'll write something like buyer appointment, and then you can manipulate the day that these show up, and this will kind of lead into when I show you how to create tasks for yourself and for other people. Saturday, the 23rd, and you can put what time it starts. I think I said 3 p.m., 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And then he'll write some notes in here for you, like, meeting at type place or whatever. And then next, under user, he'll give it to me first, actually. He'll make me the user.
Okay.
And then this is a cool thing that you'll be using. It's the notifications bar. Everybody who works at Cantu Group Real Estate is listed here in this notifications bar.
Okay.
He will click my name and hit save. And that's actually going to send me an email that says, hey, this appointment was booked. Make sure that you see it. Because especially as far as the administrative staff goes, And some of our busier OSAs, we've got tons of tasks. So if you ever set a task for somebody or an appointment for somebody without notifying them, it's really easy for stuff to get lost.
Okay.
So he'll do that, and then he'll go into opportunities, click Edit Opportunity, and he's going to move the currently assigned to, and just to back up, the currently assigned to is basically whoever owns the lead, like whoever is the captain of that lead. I gotta stop with the analogy. Okay, so he'll move it over to me, and he'll go ISA done, return to Patrick, which means the ISA's job is done. I've booked an appointment. I'm going to give it to Patrick. Sends it over to me. Then, I will show up to work in the morning, and I will go, oh my God, ISA done, return to Patrick. That's great news. I'll click here. And I'll take a look at the lead, and Paul and I will decide, who is going to be working with this person. And we'll go, Bridget's awesome. We're going to give it to her. So the next thing I'll do is I'll text you and say, hey, Bridget, I've got this appointment on Saturday at 3 o'clock. You meet this guy at the Pike Place Market. He wants to go tour some condos downtown, whatever. And what I'll do, and then you'll text me back, yeah, that sounds great. So the next thing I will do is go move the owner of the lead to you, and then I will put it in the assigned to Bridget.
There it is.
Can you see it?
You're on it.
I am? Ah, cool. And then hit save. So this is in your little bank of people who are super duper hot. And, okay, so that'll think about what it's doing for a second.
You're a dinosaur fan? That looks like it.
I'm a huge dinosaur fan.
Are you really?
Oh, yeah.
Is that
I should have been a paleontologist.
seriously?
But so the Burke Museum.
This is similar work to
totally.
Indology.
Yeah. I always wanted, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a paleontologist.
Okay. But that's one of my nephew's favorite words. He's almost 5.
Paleontology?
When I'm always yeah, like an archaeologist. Well, paleontologist.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's cute.
Smart kid.
He is a smart kid.
The Burke Museum recently got a Tyrannosaur skull. And so they had this party at the Burke Museum called Dinos on the Rocks. And of course, I went to it. And
so you really are like a
it's
legit
sad.
dinosaur.
It's sad.
Okay. Because again, my nephew's 5.
Yeah,
so
and I'm
that's
32.
Yeah, right.
But they have they had a exact replica, Jurassic Park.
You're excited
Jeep.
talking about it right now.
It was a Jeep from Jurassic Park,
Okay,
basically,
that's
outside of the
pretty
museum. And then they had, cocktails in the museum. It was like a cocktail party. And they had all these, they had real paleontologists in there, like, cleaning dinosaur bones, and you could go, talk to them and stuff.
That is pretty
But, they had this video playing, too, on this big, huge screen that basically documented the whole excavation of the Tyrannosaur skeleton. And it looks like the most miserable work in the world.
Oh, yeah.
They're out in, the hot Montana desert. Just,
dusty,
rushing away.
Yeah.
And you never actually get to see... I didn't know this, but you don't actually get to see the dinosaur bones, really, as you're digging it up. You basically figure out that the dinosaur's there, and then they encase it in plaster, and then they get a crane to lift it out of the ground because it weighs like a bajillion pounds.
Right.
Because it's not even bone, it's actually like rock. Because when it's fossilized, it's like rock. And anyways, I saw the video. I was like, wow, being a paleontologist doesn't sound fun at all.
As cool as I thought. Yeah,
you can make like 100. You can make like 6 figures doing it.
Yeah.
But I'm too pale to be in the desert all summer.
No, that wouldn't work.
So, anyways, so I'll assign you the lead.
Okay.
And at this point, actually no, there's one more thing I do. I go in here, and so the appointment's still assigned to me. So I'll go in here and make you the user. And then I'm going to click your name and hit save. So now you just got an email in your Bridget at KM2 Group email address that just says, here's this person. There'll be a link that you can click in the email itself.
Okay.
That'll take you here.
Okay.
And then you'll be able to read all the appointment notes, and then hopefully, you'd be able to scroll down here and read all the conversational notes for however long we've been following up with this person. So,
so what would that look like on my dashboard if I didn't? Where would that show up on my main dashboard?
The buyer appointment thing?
Yeah, did you already show me that?
No, I didn't, and I don't.
Most people would just come to it through their email.
I don't think it'll even show up on your dashboard.
Okay, so that's why it's important to alert or notify or whatever.
Right, and in my initial text, I'll tell you the name of the person, and the email is really the best way to figure all the information out. Okay. But that's a good question, and I'll dig into that a little bit in a sec. So at this point, the ball is really in your court.
Okay.
Infusionsoft does have a built-in calendar, but it's not very good.
Okay.
So we just encourage people to use your Google Calendar or your iCal or like a actual calendar, whatever you want to do.
I have like a hard copy. I'm kind of flexible. I have a hard copy calendar.
Do your hard copy calendar. Just as long as you make the appointment, be there like 15 minutes early. You're good. Especially, you always want to be early, but for buyer appointments, this is just like real estate agent 101 stuff here. Getting to the house early is huge for a couple of reasons. Number one, you want to make sure you know exactly where the key box is and that you know that, and you have it open. Because one thing that kind of is just awkward is when you show up at the same time as your buyers and like you're looking for the key box
and scrambling to open it.
It's just not great. And then number two, you can actually take a quick tour of the house yourself, and so that when you bring your buyers in, you're like, here's the breakfast nook, here's the garage. So side.
You want to look like you know.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what you're doing.
100%. So just side tip.
Cool. Okay.
Okay. So that's how that works. Building off of that, let's just say you go on the appointment and they go, I really like this house. But I need to talk with my wife about it. Can you call me back on Tuesday at 3 o'clock? I'll have an answer for you right then. So the problem with that is, none of the Griffin Realty Group follow-up call sequences are going to be able to give you an exact day and time to call somebody. So you're going to want to set a task for yourself.
Okay.
Well, it's super easy. It's just like a note. Click Add Task. If you want to it's going to default to you being the user when you're logged in as yourself. But if you ever want to create a task for me or for anybody else, whoever's the user is the person who's supposed to do the task, right? So it'll default to Bridget. And you want to go, okay, Tuesday. Oh my God, I'm going months and months in the future. Okay, Tuesday, 3 o'clock. Okay. Now, you can set yourself a pop-up reminder right here. So, 5 minutes before 3 o'clock, save. Oops, I should probably say, important follow-up call. And you could write yourself notes, whatever you want. It says
so-and-so had to talk to his wife, said I'll have an answer by this time.
Yeah, exactly. So now,
I'll probably over-note, or at least maybe need to.
There's no such thing as having too many notes. And so now the only thing I got to just tell you about this is that pop-up reminder will only come up if you're logged into Infusionsoft.
Right.
So if you really want to be extra careful and you want to nail it and you don't know if you're going to be sitting in front of a computer, set yourself a personal reminder.
Yeah.
But that's how you can, within Infusionsoft, remind yourself. Plus, it'll show up as a task in your tasks queue, which I'll show you right now.
Okay.
So when you're just hunkering down to make your, 20 minutes, your half an hour, your hour of sales calls for the day, hover your mouse over this house icon and then click Tasks. And all your tasks that are due today will pop up. So here's my tasks. Well, it's actually 19 is. I've been really on top of stuff lately. No big deal. It's been as high as like 200 before, which you simply can't do in one day. But I got really behind for a while there. But things are good.
Yeah.
and here's your task list where there's nothing so far, obviously. But you would basically, like, let's just say I'm a salesperson and I have to call all these people. I would just click on this. It takes me straight to where I want to be. Pick up the phone, 818-9220. Make the phone call. I come in here, click my task, complete it to show that I've made that phone call. Bless you. And then I go down here. Oh my God, where is it? There's so many tasks on this person. Click add note. LVM. And then timestamp it. Click save. And so for your follow-up calls, it's much easier because it's already in my incubable. This is a different situation, but it'll be in your incubator stage already.
Okay.
So all you have to do is complete the task and make a note. And then all you do, and then you come up here and go back to search results, and you're right back at your task list, and you just click on the next person's name, and you do the same thing again.
Okay.
So really, taking a step back here after all the stuff we've talked about, it's completing a task and making a note. And then when you have somebody whose timing is either first established or changing, you add a tag.
Okay. Can I take a blow my nose?
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Thank
Where's
you.
the bathroom?
It's door on the left over there.
Thank you.
Hey, Jonathan. No, yeah, you can lock it.
Thank you.
Sure. So yeah, just it really just comes down to
Hey, how's it going?
just completing tasks. If you make your notes and you complete your tasks and you get people out of your ISA new lead queue and into your incubator stage, you're completely doing it right. And that's exactly
And
how this all
ISA
works.
needs to be, that's a 1 day thing,
That's
right?
the first
And then
day.
it goes,
I mean, maybe if you generate a lead like way late in the afternoon,
it might go to
you can
next day, whatever.
kick it over to the next day. But that's basic. That's generally it. The other thing I will show you really quick too is you can, if you have a lead here in Infusionsoft that has come in on Commissions Inc., you can go onto our Commissions Inc. website and kind of stalk them and look at what they've been viewing online. So you can go to search for homes in Seattle.com, and I will give, and then you just log in. Actually, even under your login information, I think you might still be able to see all the leads. I might just give you Paul's login info because I think it might actually be that you can only see your own leads when you've logged in as you, which is kind of a good thing because you can keep them all separate from Paul's stuff. But so here's the back end of Commissions Inc. / search for homes in Seattle.com. Same thing.
Yeah.
If you click on leads, you'll see all just thousands of leads we've generated with these people. And again, like let's just say Sharon Olson was a Commissions Inc. lead. Unfortunately, she's not. Otherwise, I could use her as an example here. But you would just type in Sharon Olson up here, and it would pull her up. But basically, you would click on her name, and it will give you. They just revised the website, but I think you can go saved search, and you should be able to.
This means this search that she has
that
saved?
she's saved for herself,
Okay.
yeah. And then you can look at all these houses that are being sent to her, or the house that she can see on the website.
Okay.
So you can get a really good, when you call her, instead of just being like, hey, making sure you saw some houses on our website, you could say, did you see that house in Queen Anne? Or like, I saw you're searching for homes in Queen Anne and Madison Park. And maybe just be like a little bit more relevant.
Right.
And then it's especially helpful, I think, when you're really actively working with somebody. You could see like how realistic are they about what they can afford.
Right.
You can really go.
I was going to say there's a huge 2.1 to 900,000.
Yeah,
that's quite a range.
Hopefully we can get a hold of this person regardless. 'Cause
Right.
This
right.
is nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a sweet commission check. So yeah, there's Commissions Inc. We can dive into that a little bit more, and then the mailer tags that I was telling you about again are under this no category section, and you can kind of scroll down. They're all kind of in the 6-point somethings. The home seller course is the one that we probably use the most. It's a 7-piece course that basically breaks down sort of all the different things that people should be familiar with when they get to selling their house. It's like, the importance of staging, the importance of photos, the importance of, what negotiation is going to be like, what closing is going to be like, stuff like that. And it's really, again, just a way to make your seller a better seller, and also it's a reason for you to give them a call. Instead of just calling just for the sake of calling, you're saying, hey, did you get my letter? If you have any questions about it, let me know. Just following up again to see if your timeline has changed or if there's anything I could do to be of help or service.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's my Infusionsoft spiel.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
Well, I feel like the captain of Infusionsoft.
Aha, as well you should. Also, I know we covered a ton, but I'm here every day from 8:30 to 5 to help you.
Okay.
So if
Cool.
you ever run into anything weird, or if you have any questions about, anything that you come across, just let me know. And another thing that the agents here have been really great about is actually coming up with ideas for campaigns yourselves. So, if you're like, what if Infusionsoft could do this? Or like, what if I could have a follow-up sequence that was, this frequency, I don't see it in there. I can create that for you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's customizable.
It's totally customizable. I actually personally built this whole thing from nothing. You get Infusionsoft, and it's just this kind of blank
Bare bones
template.
kind of thing. Yeah.
And I built all these campaigns, and I actually had built all the follow-up call campaigns, but Danny Griffin made his stuff, and we switched it out. But so I'm really familiar with how to create different kind of campaigns on the back end here. So just let me know.
So in terms of, it's obviously, without having my MLS classes